As of recording this, my live leaderboard is the only leaderboard that I know of that exists that has the PGA Tour finishing position, the DraftKings fantasy points scored and salary, and the strokes gained numbers all in one. I built this because it did not exist and I wanted to see it. So this live leaderboard is updated hourly throughout the PGA tournament with the hopes of getting it to update faster in the future. But right now it updates hourly, where you're able to interact with this table for each player in the field with their DraftKings salary, their DraftKings points, and all 5 of their strokes gained categories, or I guess 6 if you count the total strokes gained categories. So I can sort this currently right now by fantasy points, in which Patrick Cantlay is the leader. I can sort by salary and see that Rory played really bad for 11,500, or I can sort by any of the other columns like strokes gained putting to see who is putting really, really well. What I like to do is also look at the round by round breakdown. So you can choose to view one single round or any combination of rounds that you might want to see. So this would just be the weekend, rounds 3 and 4. The way that I like to use this, along with just having a great place to follow along with the tournament, is say after the first round, I want to find guys who are playing well tee to green, but their putting hasn't been very well. Someone like David Lipsky or someone like Scott Stallings or even Patton Kizzire, who is normally a bad putter, but this is a historically bad round for him. And these are players that I might want to bet in second round matchups, or I might want to play in showdown slates. Someone like Jordan Spieth, you'd argue he's not going to gain 3 strokes putting every single round or nearly 3 around the green. He might be someone that I fade in showdown slates, for example. So you can use it for not only following along with your lineups, following along with what's actually happening in the tournament, but also using it for showdown or round by round betting. If you click the buttons at the top, they take you to some of my favorite features. So if you follow me on Twitter, I always tweet out the optimal lineups, which does not necessarily mean the winning lineup. It means the best possible lineup that you could have ever created in this moment for under $50,000 of the salary cap. So this will update every single time the leaderboard updates. So hourly, you'll be able to see the top 3 optimal lineups. Now, this is after the final round. So the 3 optimal lineups, they're scoring over 600 points, which is what you would expect to see late on Sunday. But you can look at this, early Monday, halfway through wave number 1 on Thursday, and it's really interesting to see some of the lineups that come out of here. So these are different than the best lineups that are played. These are the absolute best lineups that could have been built, which I like to always kind of point out. Rarely do they get close to that $49,000 or $49,500 or $50,000 salary cap. These are actually some of the closest ones we've ever seen, but it kind of opens your eyes a little bit to, maybe not spending up as much of the salary cap. And then the last item is the data viz here, which for me, this is just a really handy visual. So you can actually see each player's strokes gained stats broken down by each one. So I can very easily compare Cantlay to Adam Scott and see this yellow bar, which is strokes gained approach. That is where Adam Scott got his way to, a second place finish. Patrick Cantlay obviously did a much better job on the greens, 4.7 strokes putting, which is that green bar. So to me, this is just a really good visual. And when you see something like Jordan Spieth, where he loses strokes 3.3 on approach, his off the tee game, not as good as his peers, and really made it up around the green and putting. That's just noteworthy things that you want to learn about each one of these players. So that's the live leaderboard. It is something that I will continue to update, but it's really a nice tool. And if for any reason this visual fails to load, you can always click right here and it'll open up in a new tab for you, so you can check it out one way or another.